We are told that the Minnesota Viking, former quarterback, who's now a free agent, will be officially on Wednesday, Kirk Cousins, is expected to test the NFL free agency carousel. There's said to be a ton of interest from Atlanta. There wasn't a report saying Denver was interested, and then people said, wait a minute, the Broncos don't have any money. So how can they can be interested, but they don't have the money to get Kirk Cousins to Colorado. So that was
Figure out a way.
Figure out a way, Koopa Loop says. So the Pravda News Service, the NFL network, they pass on the media arm of big football. They pass on that the Vikings and Kirk Cousins remain in communication. Oh, very dramatic. They're still communicating. Well, that's good to know. But at this particular point, it does appear that Cousins is going to hit the free agent market on Wednesday with much gusto. So let us discuss the NFL media arm reporting Kirk Cousins will enter the free agent marketplace. He's not going to agree to an 11th hour deal with the Minnesota Vikings. Are you surprised by this Kirk Cousins free agency update? Are you surprised? So I'll go first. I am not surprised. I've got Tropicana, Blues Brothers, and Firecrackers, and we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to put a full court press on your eardrums is what we're going to do. So, number one. I'd like to announce that of all the things that I do on the show, the one that is the most annoying is saying, number one. Gotten messages over the years from many dudes. They're happily married. They listen in bed. Their wife is next to them trying to sleep, and then all of a sudden I say, number one!
Stop it. Get some help.
No, I say, number one! Oh, come on. It's not working. Number one! Number one! Number one! Right. And then, like, all hell breaks loose. So, yeah.
No! God, please, no!
Yeah. Well, are you surprised? So let's get back to the premise. Are you surprised that Kirk Cousins' free agency is going to happen as planned? Are you surprised by this latest report? He will not get a last-second deal with the Vikings. So, listen, you are this close to the end of the rainbow. You're this close to the end of the rainbow. Why would you stop before you get the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? It makes no sense. You've got to go forward, right? This is Captain Obvious stuff. Now, Kirk Cousins is not a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, but the thing that Cousins has done better than Patrick Mahomes, better than Tom Brady, better than Peyton Manning back in his day, the advantage that Kirk Cousins has over all of these other quarterbacks, many of them he played against, is that Kirk Cousins has been able to get every dollar possible and then some. He has fully monetized his on-field performance beyond what these other quarterbacks have been able to do. It's absolutely nuts when you look at Kirk Cousins and what he has produced on the field. It's how he rolls. That's his superpower, is he's gotten more for less. And he's doing it again. Kirk Cousins, I call him Tropicana, right? Because he squeezes all the juice out of the orange, right? Just like Tropicana. He squeezes all the juice out of these NFL teams with a middling career, always right around the middle of the quarterbacks in the NFL statistically. Kirk Cousins, veteran Kirk Cousins, going back to his old days with the Washington Redskins, he has been able to dominate financially. And it's not even really close, right? He's played the free agency game better than anyone. He plays free agency the way Beethoven plays the piano. And 12 seasons, this guy has earned $230 million. He's likely going to get another $100 million out of the NFL free agency this year. So he'll be over $300 million by the time he's done with this free agency. And he's coming off an injury. He won't even be able to play at the start of next year. For whatever team he signs with, he's expected to miss the beginning of next season, but it doesn't matter. So $231 million. How you like them apples? Those are some good apples. Those are better than Red Delicious. I mean, those are really good. He's a smooth operator, Kirk Cousins, when it comes to this kind of stuff. Even Inca Terror is impressed with the way he hits those ivories when it comes to negotiating his contract there. Kirk Cousins' wife. Now, the big rumor the last 2 weeks has been what? It's been Cousins is going to the Falcons. He's going to the Dirty Birds. Now, why is he going to the Dirty Birds? Because his wife is a Southern belle. Kirk Cousins married a Georgia girl who's from the Atlanta metro area, went to the University of Georgia. So there's a connection there between Cousins and Atlanta for whatever that's worth. I'm sure when you have the kind of money that Cousins has, you can live very comfortably anywhere. Every town has their own version of Beverly Hills. So just put that in your pipe and smoke it. All right, now turning the page. Headline from the running back room. Headline from the running back room here. And a story that's been bouncing around the last couple of days. Rumors circulating that former Tennessee Titan running back. He's a running back. Derrick Henry. Is he on the move? Has he found a new team? No, he hasn't found a new team. But the story is this, that Derrick Henry has purchased a new home in Dallas. Oh, my God, he bought a home in Dallas. Holy crap.
The Dallas Cowboys.
That, of course, has fueled speculation that he's going to sign with Jerry Jones' favorite NFL team. So let us discuss how big a clue is the real estate decision by Derrick Henry to buy a home in Dallas, and how does that impact free agency? So I will go first on the Derrick Henry question, and this is like a Blues Brothers special, classic from the Blues Brothers back in the day here. It's a rubber biscuit and that wish sandwich, right? 2 slices of bread, and you wish you had some meat. There's no meat to this, and I'll tell you why. You know where Derrick Henry's last offseason home was before he bought this house in Dallas? Ding, ding, ding. That's right. He was already living in Dallas. He just got a different house in Dallas. Do you understand that this means nothing? Now, maybe he will sign with the Cowboys, but he was living in the offseason while playing in Nashville. He's not from Dallas. Maybe he married a girl from Dallas. I don't know. But he's from Florida, last I checked. And so Derrick Henry has already been living in Dallas. So it's like, well, Derrick Henry bought a house in Dallas. That means he's going to go and he's going to play for the Cowboys. Well, no. It's another reminder. This is a big time of the year for patternicity. Patternicity. Now, if you don't know what patternicity is, just Google it. Finding meaningful patterns in meaningless noise. Patternicity. Well, he bought a house in Dallas. He must want to play for the Cowboys. The amount of professional players that live in certain areas because of tax reasons, whether it's Florida or Texas, and I got like baseball players. A lot of them live in Arizona or Florida because they have spring training, so it's a way for them to stay around home for an extra month and whatnot. But it doesn't mean they want to play for the Marlins, Rays, or Diamondbacks. That's not what it means. They used to live in California a lot, and then the taxes got insane, and they realized it's probably not a good idea for them to spend their off seasons in California. All right, now, final point. We turn the page here. We go to Cleveland. The mistake by the lake. The Brownies over the weekend agreed to send a 5th and a 6th round pick to the Denver Broncos in exchange for malcontent wide receiver Jerry Jeudy. The great Jerry Jeudy going to the Cleveland Browns. That news coming out over the weekend. He's on a 5th-year option after being picked by Denver. This guy was a first-round pick back in the COVID 2020 NFL Draft, and now he is going to Cleveland. So what does Jerry Jeudy's addition, what does that do for the Browns quarterback, the much-maligned Deshaun Watson? The addition of Jerry Jeudy. So it gives Deshaun Watson another firecracker to play with. And Jerry Jeudy is the most maddening kind of a player because he's got the gifts of the gods and doesn't use them very often. And that is the kind of player, as a fan or someone that works in sports, it drives you insane because the ability is there, the talent is there, the performance is not there. The production is not there. There are much lesser players. I'll give you an example. The Rams have a guy, Puka Nacua, who wishes he had the skill level of Jerry Jeudy, but yet Puka Nacua is able to get every ounce out of his ability with the Rams, while Jerry Jeudy only sporadically will have a big performance. And the excuse makers say, well, it's somebody else's fault and all that. But in terms of the question, it's another firecracker for Watson that can blow up in his hand and knock all his fingers off. The Browns are stuck with Watson because of a horrific contract they gave the creepy quarterback, and they can't get out of that till 2026. He stinks, okay? He stinks. We know it. We all know it, Watson, but they're stuck with him till 2026. However, should Jerry Jeudy go out with, you think about the receivers, the weaponization of the Browns offense. You've got Amari Cooper on one side. You'll have Jerry Jeudy on the other. They know a thing or two about each other. And then you toss out Nick Chuba-Lub coming back from injury in the backfield. Those are three players that have tremendous talent. Whether they perform up to their ability or not is open to debate. But it's the kind of thing, if Watson goes out there and rides the vomit comet again in Cleveland, you suddenly start looking around. You're like, well, wait a minute here. What's going on here? Maybe we got something. Like, we should get rid of this guy and just eat the money. And you can eat the money. It doesn't taste good. I recommend getting some honey mustard or barbecue sauce. You can do it.
You can eat this.